Hi, everybody.
Here we are.
We're doing business in here. I hope you guys don't mind. Welcome to LockPod Season 11, Episode 8. This is the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, and we're coming live from the Power in Indiana Lake County Studios right here in Munster, Indiana.
With a new sign.
I know.
What?
I bet you there's people that would have never realized it's a new sign, but it is a new sign.
We don't get to go red when Tom's angry anymore, but we do. Again, another one of our sponsors, Rick Baltonsberger from Misprint, was in here yesterday putting the new sign up because it's kind of like a little different font and a little different outline on the words that make it clearer.
Maybe we should dim it one more.
Okay.
I don't know.
See.
Whatever.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. There you go. That's perfect.
Thank you to Power Indiana, Lake County.
Hey,
Also, Tom just realized Jill has never been on the LockPod calendar.
Well,
ever.
I didn't know there was a calendar.
We've been talking about for like multiple seasons getting her an iPad. I'm gonna get a new iPad.
It's going to happen.
You're going to give it to me at the Taylor Swift concert.
I'm gonna give you my hand-me-down, but but it's a great iPad. Like,
You don't want his iPad.
No,
I wouldn't want to touch
you
that.
imagine?
I would not
No.
want to touch that iPad.
LockPod needs to get Jill an iPad.
Yeah. Steve, you're on it.
On it, Steve.
Why not?
Saw Steve socially last night.
They've got a lot of used ones on eBay and stuff like that. And
Phil and I,
Timo?
Kevin and I, saw Steve socially last night in Valparaiso.
Yes.
In his element.
What?
Yeah. He's
Whoa.
like a man of the community in Valparaiso.
Was he doing magic tricks?
Nope.
No.
Nope. He was just cruising around, talking to people, hanging
there
with
with his
lawyers,
wife,
and
yeah.
big wigs, walking around, and I'm like, dude, that's the LockPod guy. Yeah. We were talking about the show.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
was,
ideas. I love the fact that we have a boss that has ideas. It makes me feel good.
It's all about implementing those ideas.
And we're just
What's that like?
I know, isn't it cool? We're just like the rambling employees, and Steve's just sending us in the right direction.
That's right. We're just the talking heads.
That's
He
right,
tries. He always wants to have a meeting, and we're like,
dude.
all
He's
right.
doing a good job, man. He's got us with real guests coming in, and it's great. We got
Real
a
guests.
We have a guest
versus
coming on.
fake
It's
guests.
yeah. No, I mean we got good guests in this show. By the way,
Not today.
Everybody's been telling me they're like season 11. I get mixed up. They're like season 11. You guys are really bringing your A game. I'm like, what are you talking about? We've been bringing our A game for 10 plus seasons, right?
Which is
everybody's
about
really shocked about season 11.
one plus years, but
They're like season 11's just real good. I'm
wow.
like, I think it's
that
been
puts
good.
some pressure on us.
1 through 10 were pretty solid in my book, but hey, whatever.
You finally made it in season 11.
I think that's what it is. People are finally coming around.
Found
They're
the
like,
sweet spot.
they're like 11 fucking seasons. I'm going to have to finally listen. I'm going to actually download the stupid LockPod now.
We just wore them down, basically. Is what
We
you're
did. They were like, this is not a passing fad. They're serious about this.
saying. I lost a bet. I have to listen to
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
It's like, okay, it's season 11. I'm going to freaking log in and rate and subscribe and all that stuff your LockPod fans are
Been
supposed to
begging
do.
people to do for years.
By the way, I was flipping through our comments yesterday.
yes.
You know, LockPod fans, there are comments. And you could tell us how you feel. And I was reading through some, and I was.
Are you talking about on the stream or on the
on where you
or on,
download the app on.
on the podcast? There's
Yeah,
comments.
so on Apple Pod, I would click on it, and there was just random comments you guys are awesome, and
yeah.
Tom
Once in a
has-
while, there's a shitty one.
Tom has great chest. There was one along those
Well,
lines.
you have born
Did you
it
write
here.
that?
You
Huh?
have born
Did you
your
write
chest.
that
What would that be?
No,
Bear?
I did not. It was a
would
fan.
that be, John?
There's fans out
What?
there, Jill. They like me.
What would be the correct
Just your chest.
correct version of the word bear? He's born his chest here at the studio.
A bear?
Yeah,
Born.
If I were in that community, I would not be considered a bear.
Okay, I'm just saying
Describe that for
your
us.
chest has appeared. I didn't know we went
No,
to that.
dude, I'm that's what I thought you were talking about. The
No,
bear?
you were saying you had a great chest, and I said, well, you've
Oh,
shown it here
gotcha.
at the studio.
No, I'm a bear, baby.
Wow.
Bear,
Good to
not
know.
BEAR. I'm BARE.
Like a swimmer, like the ones that shave?
Yeah,
You get-
it's looking like I'm a swimmer.
You
except
shave
for
your
I did
chest-
not
you
shave.
shave-
No,
okay.
I did not shave. I look like I shaved though.
Wow.
Wait,
I'm
is
Irish.
BEAR that's the manly,
Right.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
according to my buddy Drew, and Drew tells me a lot about what's
The
going
bear.
on.
They even have a
and
flag,
he says,
John.
Drew is like, I like the bear, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what does that mean? He's like the big hairy guys, and I'm like, so you don't like me? He's like, no, I don't like you. I'm like,
What's
that
the
sucks, man,
opposite
because
of
I
a
think I'm a
bear?
pretty attractive guy. I'm like,
No.
come on, Drew, you don't
Okay.
like me? And Drew's like, no, you're not my type.
What's the animal term for that? Or the opposite?
I don't know.
Opposite of
It's got to
bear?
be the rabbit. Maybe I'm a rabbit.
I don't know. We have to ask that. We have to ask
I'm
one
a
of our
hare.
gay friends. What's
I'm a
the
hare.
opposite of a bear?
Hey,
So
Phil,
could somebody fill
what's
us
the
in?
opposite of bear?
Could somebody please fill us in? So, if bear is the big hairy guy, I'm not the big hairy guy. So, what would I be? Somebody will.
These are things I don't know. It'd
I
be
wanna
interesting to know, but
The
I
shit
don't- I
that's
don't
on
know
my
that.
mind constantly.
Apparently.
Right.
This show has went off the rails.
Oh, no wonder
fast, dude.
we're so popular in season
This is
11.
why we're the Midwest most dangerous. Hey, So yesterday was nearly perfect, other than BP.
Was it?
Other than BP almost blowing up and ruining my city.
Was it a good day for you?
It started off on a good note, and then we had a hellscape later on. But it
no,
started
I know
off
it.
so good, Jill.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the hellscape in the second
That could be
segment.
Okay.
that could be the episode
Stay
title.
tuned.
What's
It
that?
started out so good, but then we had
Then
a
it was a
hellscape. Until
Yeah.
the
Yesterday
hellscape.
was
Yeah,
nearly
yesterday was nearly perfect, other than the hellscape afternoon, right? So
It
we'll get to
happened.
the hellscape in segment 2.
Yes,
It's about
stay
BP.
tuned.
BP, Amoco, Whiting,
Second largest refinery in the country.
almost blew up yesterday. It looked like it was going to freaking explode.
Sure did.
We're
There
gonna
was
get to
literally
that.
people parking their cars, but we'll get to that.
Why
so,
did-
like,
yeah.
second segment, you want to hear
Stay
about
tuned.
BP, like, shitting all over Northwest Indiana. That's the second segment action. And then third segment, we're going to go into the most expensive traffic ticket in the history of the state of Indiana. That's the case about Oscar Martinez.
Update on it.
An update on the most expensive traffic ticket in Indiana history, because that's what we're talking about here. So that's going to be third segment, which is, I think it's a solid show. But we still have to get an
We'll
answer.
find
today,
out.
huh?
We haven't even
Three
started our
segments
notes.
today.
You
Oh,
what?
sorry, Jill.
3 segments today, huh?
We
We always have three segments,
Do we?
Jill. This goes
Oh,
back
right,
to
because we do 2 sets of ads.
There you go.
I'm
You
back
was
with-
like,
listen,
Uno,
there was a
dos,
lot of
tres.
fumes yesterday. Inhaled a lot of fumes.
Jill does live close to BP.
close is like not even.
Yeah.
It doesn't even give us. Well, we're gonna get to that.
Jill's
so.
got a video. It looks like she took it from the
Hellscape.
gates of hell. And it's her backyard. So
Some might call it that, honestly.
Yeah.
also known as Jill's backyard.
Yes.
the gates
So-
of hell.
we have a freaking solid ass show for you, Shauna.
If we ever
I'm
get
just
to
telling
it.
you. I know the first 10 seasons have been a letdown, but season 11, we're kicking ass. You know what I'm
Why
saying?
were you like reaching out to Shauna?
I don't know. Just a little shout out, Shauna Levinson.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Just
Hey,
like,
Shauna.
hey, Shauna,
Chat.
we're talking
She
to you
was the one who was
directly.
telling me how solid season 11 is. And I just naturally inferred.
So one listener.
So
has
like I
told
just
us.
naturally infer when somebody is like, "Hey, season 11's really good." I'm like, so they must think season 1 through 10 just blew, right?
Yeah. Or
That's-
Not enough
what-
to cancel
I don't know.
us.
She is.
That's
very,
right. We're
very-
still showing up
Yeah.
every day. We put on a shitty
Whether you
product, but
want
we
it or
show up
not.
consistently with that shitty product.
She's been complimentary on other seasons.
I
so.
love. Shauna's one of our solid.
Lock
I
potters.
bet you she's listened to 90+% of the episodes. So
Thank you.
yeah. Hey Shauna, what's up? I saw her last night also.
This is Tom's episode with Shauna. He's just going to talk to her through
No.
the microphone the whole episode.
No, I'm not. I'm just like doing a shout out. You know, people do that.
Keep going.
I'm going to talk about The Dead. Yesterday, The Dead and Company, for those haters out there that don't love Dead and Company, announced
There are some
an 18-show gig at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Residency starting in May.
Yeah, you got to see this. So here's the Sphere 2 days ago, the night before they announced it. And John's going to show this on the. It is
I thought that was Photoshop
Totally
when
cool.
I saw it. That's what the Sphere looked like, which is it's got the Steal Your Face logo just slowly rotating.
You said that's before they announced it?
yeah, it was kind of like a tease,
Oh.
like a.
It's a
Oh,
pretty
well,
good tease.
They basically announced it.
That is the coolest freaking logo and the coolest. I can't wait to go to the Sphere. And coincidentally, I already had a trip coming to Vegas, which coincides with the Dead shows, which is wonderful.
What are the chances?
Damn it, that's
Uh,
convenient.
Very convenient.
Jill, it's very wonderful. I'm super psyched about this. I thought when we saw the Dead in San Francisco, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
In fact, when they walked off the stage, they were singing "Not Fade Away." And it
On
was
and
very
on and
sad.
on. It was.
It was very sad, and then like I thought that was it, and here they are. And so you got the haters out there. They're like, "The final tour, my ass. Final tour, money grab, the Dead,
It's
blah
okay.
blah blah."
I don't care. As
I
long
just
as I
have-
get to see him again.
This is not a tour, asshole. Right? For those people, not
Yeah,
you,
I mean
Kevin.
Elton John. Right, Elton John. You know, has had like I don't know 6 farewell tours.
I want him to go on another farewell tour.
I agree.
love Elton.
It doesn't bother me.
Right.
I
But
just wanna
this is
see
a
him.
residency. It's
You're
not
right.
a
Sure.
tour.
Fair enough.
They're going to be chilling out in Vegas.
Yeah, I think the upside is like they don't have to travel.
Bob Weir's getting up there in age. He
is.
doesn't want to travel around the country, but he still wants to jam.
Although I think he is having a tour.
He is having a tour. It's so stupid. Like, I hate all this shit.
Wait,
like,
wait.
why are they doing that?
Is Bob Weir on this?
Yeah. It's the same lineup.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
No.
I didn't know that.
Same
I thought it was
lineup.
just John Mayer taking
No,
over.
it's
No.
that company. It's
Mickey
the same,
Hart.
Yeah,
Whoa!
It's the same band. It's the same band.
Let's see what the Dead had to say about it. Play this real quick.
All right, let's see it. Oh, nice.
Dead Company played their final tour. I'll read it for you because you can't read it in the audience. But there are other ways to make sure the music never stops. And it's going to be a ball.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is so cool. Oh, love it.
Yay. All right.
That is so cool. So then they went into that, and then they showed the sphere all lit up with Steely and all that. So cool.
We're gonna do. So I'm sure that there's people out there that are familiar with the sphere. There are some that's not though, like my dad, for instance. But that doesn't surprise me. But I was like,
well, there probably haven't been a lot of people that have gone. I mean, it's just been you
I know,
two.
but like I think that any young person that's anywhere near social media knows what the sphere is, right? Right, Jill? Am I wrong on this, Jill?
I've heard of it, but I also.
But you've
heard
seen the
there's-
videos. I mean, you've seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
You know what it is,
Yeah.
right? My dad had no idea. I showed it to him, and he's like, "Wow, what is that?"
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's the social media thing. Like I haven't seen it. What?
Yes, I've actually
I haven't seen
it
it
in
lit
person.
up. I haven't seen it lit up.
I've not seen it lit up.
I've seen it in person, but it was before it was lit up.
The last time I saw it was under construction,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a couple years ago.
All right, so we got facts about this venue, this sphere. It's in Las Vegas. It's attached to the Venetian, I believe, right?
Yeah, well, it's at least called the Sphere at Venetian. I don't know if they own it or it's part of the, but they definitely have the sponsoring.
I'm going
rights
to take a
it.
stab and say it's part of the Venetian
Okay.
because it's like called the sphere at the Venetian. It'd
Okay.
be probably like a trademark thing if it wasn't, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things get called things like with sponsorships, like the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas isn't where the Allegiant Bank is or whatever, but
it's affiliated with.
yeah, for sure.
Right, cool. So anyway, the Venetian Casino. If you want to stay at the Venetian, I imagine they have packages. But how much did the sphere cost? Do you think?
to build.
Yeah. All right, I'll come out.
No, let him guess. Let him guess.
Well, I know the answer. I've already looked
Okay,
into this.
Jill.
Jill doesn't have the show notes.
Yeah, she's on Android.
Yeah, she's on Android.
I don't know what you're talking about.
$2.3 billion.
Billion.
A
Originally,
lot.
Billion.
originally 1.2, and that was the 1.1, only a 1.1 billion dollar over.
Yeah, that's
original
over.
estimates.
It's world class. It's the only one of its kind in the world. It could host up to 20,000 people with standing room. So general, it's got 18,600 seats, and then you can put 1,400 people on the floor.
By the way, that concerns me in the sense of getting tickets for the
Yeah.
Dead, because when we usually go to Dead shows or Dead and Company shows, it's 40,000, 50,000 people.
Think about this, Kev. So let's say it's more than 50 probably. Well, let's just do easy math. They do
Sure.
3 shows at Wrigley Field. That's 150,000 people that see the Dead, and the tickets are usually pricey at Wrigley Field, right? They're doing 16 shows,
Total.
18 shows with 20,000 people, so it's 360,000 people. So they're doing 18 shows, and they're going to see twice as many people as they would do in a 3-day show.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that's the only place they're playing. So
I agree. That means
every
tickets are gonna be
person that
expensive.
wants to see Dead and Company at the Sphere around the country
Yep.
versus just waiting for them to come to your city
Right.
is going to try to get to Vegas to go to a show.
Right. And
gonna-
they're going to be
So
expensive.
I read an article right after it opened that there are seats in the Sphere that you cannot see the screen from.
All right,
See?
here you go.
See,
This
I
is-
did that without the notes.
You
I
did.
love it. I love it. We're going there, Joe.
Go there.
Because we're going to tell people where to sit during shows. We're going to tell you interesting facts about the Sphere. How about this? Who originally built it? Like, it's a famous company. That's why we know it's affiliated right now with the Venetian, but it started off backed by MSG, which is the Madison Square Garden company, actually. And since then, it's been acquired a couple times and now is owned by Venetian, I believe. Right, Kev?
It's like a conglomerate of a couple different companies.
What do they call
but
those? I'm blanking.
It's okay. It's season 11. It's hard. I can't remember it
They're
either.
the finance companies.
Yeah.
All right. You know the one
know
that
what you're
bought,
talking
the
about.
one that
Doesn't
bought
matter.
Horseshoe Casino. They did the same thing. Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My mind's not working. 1.2 million LED lights surround the Sphere. 1.2 million.
Largest outdoor LED display in the world ever made.
Yep. Inside the Sphere is a 16,000 light curved screen, 250 feet tall, 400 feet wide. One of the highest resolution displays ever made. So you got inside, you got the huge screen behind the stage, which is on the floor
And goes up.
And in there, the entire inside is completely lit up with LED lights. So the outside and the inside are completely lit up. So not only do you see the show on the bottom, you see the huge LED screen behind them, and everything above you is lit up. So you could look behind you, above you, everything around you has LED lights, and it's all symmetrical.
I found this interesting. All points on the surface are the same distance from the center, but I guess because it's a circle, right? So you're going to the radius. So
The entire thing has no edges or vertices or corners.
wow,
That it's a complete sphere. Has one surface. The entire thing. What is a polyhedron?
polyhedron, multi
feel like I'm in fucking geometry class.
I hated geometry.
Polyhedron?
God, yeah, whatever.
Multi-faced object?
It's not one of those things.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
a polyhedron.
Yeah.
Well, because it's circular, right, I guess, or
Yeah.
spherical.
That's crazy. Okay, so now the thing about the sphere is, now picture if you're going to buy a ticket there, right? Where do you want to be? Because the interesting thing is these tickets are expensive, okay? I got Marissa and I a ticket to a show there, okay? And I'm not going to tell you which show because I don't like people to know when I'm out of town. But let's just say the tickets are way more expensive than to a normal show, like if you're going to United Center, okay? So in this case, I think when people are buying tickets to the Sphere and you see the prices, they'll be like $500, right? And then there'd be some that's like $1,200. There's some that's like $1,000. Or some that's like $800. So I'm sure the Dead tickets are going to be expensive, right? But I think people's natural instinct when they see a ticket price like that is they're like $500 ticket, snag it, right? Mm-hmm. And what people are finding out is, okay, you got the lowest price ticket. It's in the 100s. So you think, God damn, it can't be that bad. I'm in the 100s, right? This is where you get yourself screwed in the Sphere. You got to be very careful buying tickets, okay? The 100 section is literally from the ground floor all the way up to the tip top. And then the 200 section is built over the top of it. So the 200 section covers part of the 100 section. So if you're in rows 23 or above in the 100 section, you could see the stage, you could see the floor, but if you look up to the ceiling, you cannot see it. You'll see the bottom of the 200 section.
That's good to know.
You have to know exactly.
So
with these people that are buying
row-
$500 tickets are in row like 37
And they're under
100.
you can't see up.
You can't see up.
You can see pretty good view of the stage.
You can see the band, you can see all that, but you can't see the show above you, which is
Yeah.
why people are going to the Sphere.
Suckers.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to see I can't wait to see people falling out during Drums in Space during
Yeah.
at the Sphere. People are going to be.
The graphics are going to be.
Or think about Shakedown Street in Las Vegas.
There's a lot of legal things in Vegas that are not normally legal at Grateful Dead shows. So
Can you imagine like the pool scene during the day before the show? Like every pool in Vegas can be just deadheads.
yeah, it's
Whoa.
going to have peculiar smells and weird looking people.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Keep
gonna
those
be-
dreads out of the water.
Man, I tell you, I've never.
Keep those matted dreads out of the
Nasty
water.
ass.
Those nasty
Nasty-ass
matted
dread.
dreads out of the
Freaking,
water, dude.
like bugs all over the surface of the water. Like, get it out of here.
Oh,
So if you're gonna go to
Can't wait.
If you're going to go to Sphere, be in general admission, which is on the floor. If the 100 sections be in the first 23 rows, if you're above that, you're going to not like it. Or 2, 3, and 400 section.
Do you think it's possible to like get dizzy up in the top?
I don't know. I imagine
100%. Absolutely.
Did you see? So when you two played there, Jill, you didn't see any of the videos or anything?
I don't think I did.
It was cool. They did some really cool stuff. Like at the very beginning, they played Where the Streets Have No Name, and they were coming in, and it was just like a desert scene. And like everything, you were in there. It's like everything surrounding you is like a picture of the desert, and it's just like, and they
Very
were playing.
cool.
Yeah,
Like like a movie theater, like the surrounding movie theaters. What are those called? IMAX.
yeah.
But like on
It's like
steroids.
IMAX on steroids. Like IMAX is only in front of your eyes. This is IMAX above your head, behind your
Around
head.
you.
Everything, your peripheral vision
Yeah.
is completely covered.
Oh,
by,
I can't wait.
Oh my God, this is.
This has to
When I
happen.
heard the rumor that Dead and Company was talking about playing there, I was extremely excited. I've been waiting on the edge of my seat ever since. So this is so thanks for bearing with us here, and I'm just really
Let Tom
excited.
geek out for a little bit.
Yeah, so
about the
like
Dead
yesterday started
residents.
off so well. That was before the Hellscape situation.
That's right.
The Hellscape was the rest of the day pretty much sucked after that.
So the Dead tickets go on sale soon.
Yeah, let's don't tell people. So we don't have anybody. We're not going to tell you. You're going to have to do your
Find
own
it for your-
investigation.
find out for
Find it
yourself.
yourself, sucker. You
Well,
know.
are we not going to mention that Justin Timberlake is also going on tour?
I love Justin Timberlake.
I
Are
thought
we
he
going to that
was
show, Jill?
canceled.
Huh?
Wasn't he canceled?
That canceled in some circles, not in my
Okay.
circle.
Not in mine either.
Jill and
I
Tom are
like-
going to Justin Timberlake.
I've
When is
seen-
this?
I've seen Justin Timberlake twice in concert.
I think he's here in June.
He's one of my male crushes for sure.
Really?
Hell yeah,
He's
dude.
good in
Justin
concert.
Timberlake is a badass, man. Marissa and I've seen him twice, I believe. I know I've seen him once. Maybe it is only once, but I love Justin Timberlake.
John Mayer's another one of your man crushes.
He is definitely a man crush. I'd straight up change teams for John Mayer.
All
Straight
right,
up.
good to know.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be the bear. We got to find out.
No,
what
I
you
would not be the bear. The rabbit. I think it's got to
I
be a
don't
rabbit.
think that's it.
I don't
Will
think it's
somebody
it.
help us out? I thought.
Well,
come on,
we
chat.
gotta look
Where
in
are
chat.
you?
Yeah, where's Chad? What's the opposite
What's
of bear in the gay community?
Yes. What is the opposite of bear? Because I think that's what I would be.
Are you
Whatever
saying you're
that
a
is.
catcher? I think you'd be a catcher.
I'm a catcher. No, I was always a pitcher.
Chris Jones will know this.
Chris
What?
Jones. All right, well then ask him. Is he in
Chris
chat?
is a very worldly guy.
He is a very worldly guy.
He'll know this. He'll figure it out.
All right, so help us out here because I know it's out there.
Hey,
So,
speaking of shows,
yes, sir.
Liam Gallagher is doing one U.S. show.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to tour. He's doing an album with John Squire from the Stone Roses, this old UK group.
Yeah.
Tickets go on sale this morning, so we need to move this baby along. This
really?
podcast, so we can, I can get those tickets.
Are you planning on going?
I'm thinking about it. It's in New York, Brooklyn. Never been.
Really? My
Yeah.
sister lives there.
What?
True story.
Brooklyn.
And my mother-in-law, right,
Sounds
Lynn?
like you don't have
and
to
Trisha.
rent a hotel room.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Got a place to stay.
This is
She
fantastic. I'm
lives
definitely
upstate now.
going
She
now.
used to live in Berkeley. She lives a little bit further upstate now, but I have tons of family out there. So
I have to go, right?
including Dagmara,
You have to
my
go.
Polish wife, who is from New York originally. She grew up in Long Island. So
Marissa, will you go with me? Show me around?
yeah,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, BK.
No.
Is Liam Gallagher going to sing Oasis
Brooklyn.
songs, or is he going to sing Liam Gallagher songs?
TBD. People are asking. He hasn't
That's what I'm.
said
Who is he
I am
touring with?
people.
So it's Liam Gallagher and John Squire. They're doing an album together.
So like Stone Rose.
So
Well,
it's all new
No, it's
shit?
well, that's all I know right now.
It's yeah. Who wants to hear this shit?
No, not it.
I went to see Roger Waters, and people aren't going to see Roger Waters. Hear Roger Waters bullshit.
I know.
Right?
It's like play a couple of the songs and then
Right.
get to the good
This
stuff.
freaking
no
guy,
Pink Floyd?
He played some mostly. So like the first time I saw Roger Waters at the United Center, it freaking blew my mind, dude. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a dumb shit for never seeing this guy, right? And then so I forgot that was the tour where he was doing Animals and stuff, and which is a Pink Floyd CD, which was epic.
Thank you for clarifying.
Right,
that.
Animals. Yeah, Animals is a epic Pink Floyd CD, and he did Animals, and I was like, I felt like the biggest dumbass that I'd never seen this guy before, right? So I go see him again, and Marissa and I are like, boom, get
Yeah,
tickets, we
ready.
go. And he starts playing all of his bullshit, and he was screaming at Trump the whole time, and I hate Trump, but I'm like, I didn't come here
Not
to
here
like,
for a
I'm not watching
political
CNN,
message,
Roger
right.
Waters. I'm here to freaking watch the show, like play Animals, play Dark Side of the Moon, asshole.
Did he play any?
Yeah, but it was like 50-50 with his Roger Waters bullshit and a lot of screaming. It was like, Marissa was like, he's like the angry old man in The Simpsons. And I was totally agreeing. It's like, it reminded me of that guy in The Simpsons. It's like yelling at kids all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. And he looked like him too.
We got our answer.
What's
Tom
that?
Novak. Twink
Twink?
is the opposite of bear.
Man, I don't want to be
Really?
called a twink.
Maybe you
Bear
are.
sounds so much cooler.
It does sound cooler.
That might be the title.
Like a twink? I don't want to be
Tom's a
called
twink.
I am not a twink.
I don't want
I'm not,
Not
a
for
bear.
us- not for us to
This
decide,
twink
Tom.
Is, that's a BS. Like we got to work on our
These are not-
terminology.
These are not things.
LGBTQ, community needs to work on their terminology.
Maybe they like that.
I don't like it.
that.
I don't
Well,
like it because I'm not a
Yeah.
bear, obviously. And
You
twink
are what
just-
you are.
I am. All right, I'm
Let's
a twink.
say Tom and John Mayer hook up in Vegas.
We're
Let's
two
just
twinks.
explore
It's
this for a
twinks
second.
times
You're
two.
two twinks.
I
There's
don't
no
think they-
bear there.
Two twinks.
But I mean, there's got to be something in the middle. Those are like, like
Me and John Mayer would be a great couple.
I don't know. There's
We'd
gotta be
sing
just
You're
like
the
a-
bear in that couple.
I probably am the bear in that couple.
Yeah.
All right, I would be a bear for
Do we
John
have
Mayer.
to be characterized as things?
No, dude.
Let's
you
just
do.
say you're just
you
a,
do. I'm like with John Mayer. If he wants me to be a bear, I'll be a bear. It's the way it is. He's John freaking Mayer, right?
All right.
You'll grow a beard out for Vegas. And
I could grow a damn good beard, by the way. You guys saw me when I got back from my sabbatical.
oh yeah.
I had a full beard.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? That was
do.
awesome. And I drove across the country. I bought a one-way ticket to California.
You drove across the country.
No, I didn't drive. I flew to Vegas and I started driving all over the West Coast. But like when I bought the ticket, I remember Marissa's like, you're coming home, right? I'm like, yes. When? I'm like, that's
Eventually.
the cool thing about this vacation. I have no ticket.
I'm going to decide.
Eventually, I'm just going to buy a ticket and come home. And I did.
Man.
It took me like 10 days. Have you ever done that?
I've not.
It was,
We were the first staff meeting after you got back, and that was unpleasant.
yeah, it was. I remember
was
that.
very-
I
So
was
you had
like
a nice,
very emotional.
relaxing, and then you came back, and it was like
I was like super
angry.
emotional. I guess I probably was angry, right?
You were super angry.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Because you know what? At the
I
time,
had 10 days off.
He didn't have
Now I'm
anyone to
pissed.
yell at for those 10 days.
no, I had nobody to yell at. But you know what? Honestly, I felt like when that race happened, when I ran for Congress, I felt like there was a movement in Hammond to try to keep me in Hammond, and I felt a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it because it doesn't matter. But
Season
like,
1, Episode 1.
yeah, I felt like I
And
felt
two.
like there was a movement that said we love you as mayor and we don't want you to be congressman, and that sucked a little bit to hear because I'm like I bust my ass to be a good mayor and just imagine what kind of a congressman I'd be. But so I was a little. And I was a little upset when I got back, but it is what it is, man.
And
People
thus
lose.
the podcast was born.
That's right.
Yes, and if it wasn't
Right?
for that,
That's right, Jill. That anger, we channeled it into something positive.
Out
out of
11
that was
seasons.
born a podcast.
11
positive
seasons
thing.
of anger.
A positive development for Northwest Indiana. Lockpod was born. Look at that.
Allegedly.
If I was in Congress, we
Allegedly
couldn't do
a
this
positive.
shit, right? Can you imagine?
It'd be fun.
Yeah,
it would be fun. I mean, if Lauren Boebert could jack off her husband, I could do a podcast.
I don't think that was her husband.
It was her boyfriend in Beetlejuice. If she could do that as a congresswoman, I could have Lockpod in Washington, right?
Absolutely.
Totally agree.
There's no rules in Washington.
We'd have real
anymore.
guests too, not fake ones.
That's right. Real guests. We love our guests.
Yeah, I'm still wondering what does that
I
mean.
had too. Like, what
are
did it
real
mean for
guests?
like our past guests?
Yeah.
Steve's working on real guests.
It's like Steve got those guests too. Those are real guests. Like I'm
Yes.
saying, if we were in charge of the guests, it'd be bullshit. Steve is like getting real good, solid guests, including the ones we've hosted.
You got D'Lo. He didn't get him.
I mean, yeah,
That was a real
true.
guest.
Yeah.
I
mean,
love
so-
Jim. Jim's a good on this show.
Yeah.
Jim D'Lo was on the longest episode of Lockpod in the history of
Oh,
the
yeah.
show.
Yes.
You know,
We're
we've been
here.
on for 11 seasons too.
He set the record.
He did.
He might be like top 2 out of 3, maybe even.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, the first one and the one you cut him off on.
That you allege I cut him off
Yeah,
on.
still
Yet there's
can't
no
find
proof
it.
of
Yeah.
that.
Right. Hey, we have people that constantly feed us stories, and I love that because it makes our job easier. And one of the highest contributors is JRC, by the way.
Yeah, Johnny Cantrell is very, very good at helping.
He has
us
his
with,
finger on the pulse of what a good Lockpod story is.
Where are
Which
you,
is
John
scary.
Cantrell?
I know,
Where
right?
Have you been?
He travels a lot, and he's in the court a lot. So, but John
Every
knows
day.
he knows a good
According to his
Lockpod
ad.
story when he sees one. So, John found a story about a woman on a Frontier airline flight.
By the way, has anybody flown Frontier here? In
I
the
have
most recent?
flown it once.
That was
You knew it?
I
You knew it too?
It was after a dead show.
The longest fucking flight
Is
ever.
that the one you got?
Let me ask you
John?
this.
It's a what show?
Maybe a better
I said, is that the
question.
one he
No,
got
that was
puked on?
Southwest.
Maybe a better question, John, is will you be flying Frontier Airlines anytime soon?
No, they don't even offer Wi-Fi on their flights.
Oh,
They
wait a
just
minute.
Don't have it.
You're lucky you even have a
Do they have seatbelts?
You're lucky. Yeah.
Dude.
You're lucky they do like preventative
You're lucky they have
maintenance.
water on the flight.
Dude, it got delayed to like 4 hours or something insane. It was
Well,
a
that can
red
happen
eye
anywhere.
on Frontier cross country. It was ridiculous.
Okay, so we got a Frontier flight in this one, and John Cantrell knows a good Lockpod story. So he forwarded it to us, and all of us saw it, and we were like, yes.
Yeah.
This,
So-
this
Not
makes
all
the
of
cut.
us.
Not all of us are.
Definitely
yeah.
made the
Everybody that had iPhones was like, yes, this is the one that makes the cut.
A young lady named Dulce Huertas of Philadelphia.
By young, you
This is
mean
gonna
60
be
years
great.
old.
60.
Yeah. Which by
Young lady of 60 has been charged with interfering with a flight crew, simple assault, and an indecent exposure
This is
in
not
connection
good.
to the incident that took place on board a flight to her hometown, Philadelphia, on November 20th.
Philadelphia seems like it's getting a lot of bad raps lately.
She was on a flight Orlando to Philly, and she got up from her seat to use the bathroom. The flight attendant told her she needed to stay seated. Then she yelled and cursed at the flight attendant after being told to remain in her seat.
She's got to go.
Once the plane arrived at the gate and the seatbelt sign was turned off, but before any external doors were opened, she resumed her aggressive behavior and pushed passengers out of the way as
gotta
she
go.
moved to the front of the plane. And then this happened.
Are we gonna play this?
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly! Okay,
And then this happened.
here we go.
I'm ready to be over here. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, get the hell out of here. She just dropped and peed right in the middle of the
Listen to
I
this
don't
stuff.
give up. No, you. I gotta go pee. I don't give up. You're not the only bitch. Let me back.
Just to recap,
Oh, my.
There's
I don't
Scott
give a
here.
fuck. I gotta go pee.
P.
Oh,
Yes.
Dolce.
Dulce
Dulce.
Huertas.
I'm ready to be over here.
I'm ready to pee over here.
Sorry,
here.
everybody.
Sorry, everybody. And then she
Oh,
pulls her pants down.
God, dude.
Yes, squats in the middle of the aisle.
I am never flying Frontier Airlines the rest of my damn
Frontier
life.
Airlines should make this like a commercial.
I'm
Like,
sorry, I gotta pee.
You can go pee anywhere in our flight.
Dude, they should let you pee though. They did that crap to me the other day. I should have,
You should have done that.
I honestly, I had to go so bad the other
did
day, and
too.
it was like a turbulence flight, and they didn't let the
Yeah.
fasten seatbelt sign off.
That they did not.
I felt like doing the same thing, Dolce.
So the downside for poor Dulce, or maybe, is that
Yeah,
she
this
is
is
now
like-
facing
it's a federal offense, right?
offense
Yeah.
of a maximum sentence of 21 years in prison. Or I'm sorry, 21 years and 3 months in prison.
What?
3 years of supervised release and a $355,000 fine. That could be the maximum. It's being investigated by the FBI as well as the Federal Air Marshal Service. With the
if you're the
assistance from
FBI agent on that case, you know they hate you. They're like, I got this hot case for you, FBI agent Jones. Yeah, the lady named Dolce pissed on a Frontier airplane. I want you to investigate.
Yeah, she was by the way, Huertas was unsuccessful in getting past and continued to yell, curse, and threaten to kill multiple passengers.
Jesus,
there we go. All over wanting to take a piss.
Listen, dude.
Can we hear that one more time, John? One more time
a
for
federal
Dolce.
offense. Dolce, that's a federal offense. Somebody should have yelled out some warning to her.
They probably were.
Don't do it. It's a federal offense.
Let's hear it one more time.
Ready to be over here. Sorry, everybody.
They're gonna-
Okay, let me
If you're just listening to this, you can guess when the pulling the pants down happened. It's when all the gasps occur.
She's like,
Right after the apology.
I know. She's so polite. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, buddy, I'm going to drop the door
Bam.
and piss right in front of you.
And then she's like, screw you. I got to piss. It's like,
She's like,
she was
"Fuck
so
you,
polite.
I gotta pee."
Jeez, oh, Pete, man, that's brutal.
Yeah, like playing devil's advocate. You know, it's a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah?
Yes. This wasn't the first time she tried to go to the bathroom, right? Kevin?
No.
She tried to go multiple times. They wouldn't let her go.
She was pissed.
You got to do what you got to do.
Literally.
Yeah, it was a bad pun.
I mean, they're at the gate, aren't they? This isn't the beginning of the flight.
no, this is at the gate.
That's what I'm saying. She's
go
got
to
like
the
5
bathroom.
minutes. She's
Yeah.
got like 5 minutes.
Dude, she might have a
relax.
But go to
a
the
medical
bathroom
condition.
then.
John,
Right?
They wouldn't let her.
They wouldn't let her.
John, they did say that she had a couple drinks prior to getting on the
Man,
plane.
when you drink, though, you got to go.
That's true.
You know?
Very funny
break that
comment
seal, though.
from
Wow.
Phil.
Yeah,
in
right?
chat.
She broke the seal
That's
in
her own
on
fault.
aisle 12.
Phil says, "Who would pee in the middle of the aisle of a plane, Tom or Kevin?" Would it be
Not
the
me.
twink or the
Man,
bear?
yeah,
Would not be
the
me.
twink.
Tom or Kevin?
The twink. Good job, Phil. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some ads. We're going to come back and talk about Hellscape, which was where we lived
Right in our
yesterday.
right in our area, right in our region.
Our
little
local
corner of the
refinery,
world.
BP Amoco Whiting, tried to burn down the entire Northwest Indiana region yesterday, and we're going to talk about it. So
Allegedly.
yeah,
Send it into
Allegedly.
oblivion.
I saw 100-foot flames coming out of 5 stacks at the same time in a sky filled with black smoke. It was just unbelievable. I was like,
Yeah.
like there
This
was
is the
people.
part we're going to get to after the ads.
People are like stopping their car, but yeah,
The story's over.
Okay, let's go. Power in Indiana, Lake County. IBEW Local 697 and NECA proudly bring you Power in Indiana, Lake County. With over a century of experience, they've been safely wiring the region. From powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across Lake County, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Join them as they continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana. Visit Powering Indiana, Lake County today at www.poweringindiana.org.
Prestimer Insurance Company. For decades, the Ron J. Prestimer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs on the opposite end from BP, so they're good.
On the opposite end of the boulevard.
Their wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, has helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
And Ronnie, I know you called yesterday. I'm calling you back today. Don't worry. Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for their iconic red and white label at your local grocery store and indulge in the finest Mexican products crafted with local expertise and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
I wanted to thank Mark Anderson real quick for the great shirt I'm wearing, by the way. If
That
you ever
is
want me to
awesome.
wear a cool shirt, send it to me and I'll wear it on the show. But Mark made this. I don't know if he made this one or bought it, but I love it. Psychopath?
I love it.
It's
with
cool.
the bike on it.
With the bike.
Psychopath.
Psychopath. With
Spelled C-Y-C-O.
Cool. So thanks, Mark. I wore it on the show. He gave it to me during the off season, and I finally wore it. So, MCR Partners. Speaking of fans of the show, Matt Reardon, owner of MCR Partners. Are you seeking expertise in economic development, finance, or planning? Look no further than MCR Partners. If so, he's your go-to professionals for comprehensive solutions. Their dedicated team is ready to assess your opportunities and ensure the successful completion of your projects. Discover the difference MCR partners can make in navigating the intricacies of economic development. Stay informed and connected by visiting our website at mcrpartnersllc.com. Or for personalized assistance, reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Byway Brewing, a family. Oh, sorry, Jill. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
No. Go. I got a little excited.
It's all you, Kevin.
Byway Brewing. Sorry about that. Sitting in front of my face. Byway Brewing, a family-friendly microbrewery, welcomes you to their spacious tap room and outdoor patio. Enjoy award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility provide a perfect backdrop for private events, whether it's a bridal shower, reunion, or corporate party. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Customer service is their top priority at Byway Brewing, just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer. Thanks to our sponsors, including Power in Indiana, our studio sponsor. Power in Indiana, Lake County, our studio sponsor.
Yesterday at BP Amoco Whiting, which is, you said, the second largest refinery in Northwest Indiana?
In the country.
In the country. It's one of our largest employers where we live. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing to have because it's a huge investment in the number of jobs and the number of people employed where we live.
Great jobs.
Great jobs. Top dollar. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a curse when bad things happen. And unfortunately, it seems like bad things are happening more and more recently. In fact, BP Amoco, Jill, I don't have to tell you, two times in the last 2 weeks, we've had major incidents that's impacted all the neighbors that live around the plant, right?
Yep.
They had a gas leak the other day at one of their huge storage tanks, and it's obviously it smelled up your neighborhood, Jill. But the wind carries these fumes, and it goes all over the entire region where
there
we live.
There are people in Crown Point that smelled it, and that's
20 miles away.
Yeah,
and it's just as strong in Crown Point as it is in it literally carries the fumes, and you'll think that your house is about to blow up if it hits your house.
Yeah, so just to give people kind of geographic, where this is at, right? So if you think of the southern tip of Lake Michigan where Illinois meets Indiana, that's Hammond. And literally probably half mile to the east is Whiting.
Yeah.
And Whiting has a small lakefront and a beautiful park and a beautiful county park called Walhalla, and then Whiting Park, and then there's the biggest refinery, one of the biggest refineries in the world, sitting right there on the lakefront and also inland into Whiting. Whiting's only about 3,000 people. 4,000 people call it.
But Whiting itself, 75% of Whiting's footprint is BP Amoco.
Right.
The city is literally a town city.
And it's very adjacent. It is literally adjacent to Hammond. And part of the refinery, a very small part, is actually in Hammond.
Yeah, very small part. Yeah. And a small part of it's in another city called East Chicago. But Whiting and Hammond are very close. The mayor of Whiting is a good friend of mine. We cooperate on a lot of things. And yesterday, Mayor Steve of Whiting, the mayor of Whiting, had his hands full. Because
as a mayor, how do you find out? I mean, obviously, how did you find out about this?
I find out through the community.
Okay.
People start calling and sending me pictures and videos. Kelly Kearney, my head of code enforcement, sent me a video and I immediately started driving north.
Okay, so
it was a video of basically 5 or 6 different smokestacks releasing all at once, and it was just putrid black air going in the sky and 100-foot flames.
These photos that you're seeing right now, if you can see them, that the mayor just described, this is from the Lost Marsh Golf Course, which is also just adjacent to the refinery.
This was taken by Danny Diambala. I want to thank him. He forwarded the pictures to me yesterday.
One of your firemen.
One of my firefighters. It was anybody from this area. We've always seen these smokestacks. Every once in a while, they'll have a small flame coming out of it. But nothing like yesterday. We had multiple units releasing all at once, and it just literally shit all over a brand. It was the first beautiful day we've had in weeks.
Yeah, sunny.
It was 50 degrees. People are outside, believe it or not, riding their bikes and jogging, enjoying, and then BP Amoco just let a big shit out and just hey, everybody, go back in your house.
Yeah, so we're probably at the studio here, I would say probably 10 to 11 miles, maybe 10 miles south of BP, and and I went probably 4 miles to the north at about 5 o'clock at night. It was like a fog. Still, it was like a foggy day, and you could smell petroleum at 10 o'clock at night.
It smelled like chemicals in the air
all the way through the night.
Oh, where I lived 10 miles to the south. It smelled like chemicals yesterday.
But Jill, literally, just describe kind of where your house is as compared to the refinery.
So, so across my alley is Whiting. That's technically
That's
Whiting.
how close you are.
So I'm about maybe 3 blocks until it BP has they had bought some property on Schrog, one side of Schrog, so they own that property. And then across the boulevard is where the actual refinery is.
So you're like 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
How's
Did
your
you get it? You didn't get evacuated yesterday, obviously, because you live in
They
Hammond.
didn't. I don't think they evacuated anybody.
Well, like Hammond, we didn't do anything, but I know that Whiting seemed like Whiting was more in the know than I was, because BP was, if we didn't call them, they weren't calling us, which is, I think it's bad neighborly stuff. I mean, obviously, we're getting inundated with phone calls. Like,
well, they
people
didn't call
thought,
about the gas leak. We had to call
Right.
about that.
people thought the goddamn plant was going to blow up. And so, by the way, I only because I'd been reassured the plant wasn't going to blow up, but when I looked at it, it looked like the goddamn plant was going to blow up. I've never seen anything like it.
And according to the news release, it was a power outage, and it said that. In fact, let's just see here. The refinery initially evacuated employees from the glass office building only, and then they evacuated the entire refinery because of a power outage and had to flare its stacks. I don't know what that means, but
It means they need to get the dangerous combustible stuff
Yeah, they
out,
had to release all the pressure
as quickly as possible.
or else they could have blown up.
And by the way,
Which is why they were doing what they were doing, but this is this is not normal routine procedure. And everybody that lives around that plant, like Jill, is used to seeing it operate normally. Like, you've never seen anything like that, right?
Oh
Jill?
God, no.
Was it scary for you?
No, I wasn't. I don't think I was scared because I see it every day. I don't see it on that level, and like I've lived there my whole life. My parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, we all lived there. But I think the fact that they didn't tell anyone anything,
They didn't say shit.
and they had a big so there's people that are old enough there to remember the Christmas Eve explosion.
What, 1956 or
Well,
something
there was
like
one
that?
in '84 on Christmas Eve,
Ooh.
and my dad's parents lived on Schrog, which
Uh-huh.
is the last block next to the property, and they all got evacuated. But then there was the big one in '55 in
Right.
August, where
That's killed a bunch of people.
were killed from the shrapnel.
Right.
So
Like, the stuff
Blew
would
out
go
windows
hundreds of feet in the
miles
air.
away.
Yeah, miles away. But
Yeah.
like, Dad, the whole thing blew up then.
and then everything caught on fire because of this explosion. And my grandpa was working there at the time. He worked in one of the labs, and everyone became a firefighter for I think the 8 days that it burned because everything was melting. They didn't get to go home. Everyone had to stay there to fight this.
Well, Texas City had it was a BP explosion in Texas City, and one of the things they learned there, which they took up to our plant up here, was when that one exploded in Texas City, they had a bunch of non-essential personnel on the footprint of the plant, and what they started to do in Whiting was actually build buildings away from the. You don't need like the accounting staff in the refinery to do the accounting work. They don't even need to be on the footprint. They could be in a downtown area someplace. They don't need. So what BP started to do is move all these non-essential personnel off the footprint just in case they did have an explosion. And the scary thing about yesterday, I knew that happened, is all non-essential personnel were evacuated. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, so this is what officially they said. They said, we're in the process of safely shutting down the refinery after a suspected power outage. We've activated our emergency response team and evacuated refinery office buildings out of an abundance of caution. Local fire departments are assisting with the evacuation by closing nearby roads. The safety of refinery staff and the community are our highest priority. That's what they said. And then Mayor Spivak from Whiting said whatever they had as a backup was not sufficient or was shut off. When the power went out, the flare stack flames have increased in size and caused smoke. That's what they're supposed to do.
So Jill has a video, just so if everyone wants to see what this looked like 3 blocks from
Roughly.
BP in the evening, here it is.
That is so crazy. What time was that, Joe?
Like 6:30
Holy shit.
Unbelievable.
6:30 wait,
in the evening.
what?
Is that like an air raid siren?
I don't know what it was.
I'm sure you like.
It's not the first time I've heard that though.
So
That's
Jill's
like
like,
Armageddon.
It's another day.
it's like a hellscape. Welcome to.
Orange smog sky, flames.
Like, it looks like,
Looks
for those
like-
of you that are streaming, it was super low ceiling because it's filled with smoke. There's the flame of the stacks burning in the background. It looks like Jill is in freaking Baghdad and during the war
When they were burning the oil
when they were burning.
refineries.
Right. It's unbelievable. Like, this is like, no offense, BP. This is being a bad neighbor. This is the kind of, it's unbelievable. Like, how much they ruined the first beautiful day, spring-like weather we had, and they're just like ruined it. They shit all over the sky. They just like, everybody is afraid to step outside. This is not being a good neighbor.
So are they going to say, though, it is being a good neighbor because what happened when we had a power outage is what we were supposed to do and blew the stacks?
I don't know, man. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, what's better neighbor? Is
You
a
want
better
us to
neighbor?
blow up, or do
We'll
you
blow up, or
True.
but still,
or have a
man.
hellscape? No, it sucks, but
sucks,
it's
man.
like you live near a refinery, and we live in a very industrial area, and it just sucks
days
when
like
shit
that.
like this happens.
It is unbelievable. Well, so like last week, like we said, BP literally made the whole area, Jill. Like it's a strong petroleum smell when you walk out of your house right now because of the leak they had.
Not now. Now it smells like smoke.
No, it smells like smoke. But
It
like,
does at your house.
A little bit.
Yeah.
unreal, man.
Tom Novak put in chat that IDEM, which is Indiana's environmental arm, will have a public hearing on the BP Whiting Refinery's air permit renewal at 6 p.m. on February 8th in EC. I'm sure that room will be quite full.
BP's like, great timing.
Exactly. Like,
It's
why?
Mayor's night out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, can you
imagine
imagine?
BP, like, they get their permit, like, probably renewed, like, every 5 years.
And it happens 7
days
Dude,
prior.
just find a reason to continue that one. Oh, we're not ready for
you know
this
what?
hearing, right?
We don't have
We
enough
want to
room
move
for
it
the
back
crowd.
6 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
We'll put it on.
How's that
The
even
next one is
possible?
December 24th, right? Oh, nobody showed up. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy timing.
Wow.
That
for
sucks.
BP.
We've had an industrial. So this is the first district in my city, and I've had a lot of issues in the first district. We had Mayor's Night Out there, and we had another industry, Cargill, which makes cornstarch.
Yeah, it used to be known as a Mazo and then American Maize before that.
So in the first district, they are
corn
making
syrup, corn maize.
in the middle of the
cornstarch.
night, and it's an industry built real close to a neighborhood. And in the middle of the night, they have this loud, humming, vibrating sound that'll slowly make you insane. And it
From
like
a
goes
dryer.
at like 2 a.m. It's like,
Wow.
and literally
That would
like
make me go insane after a
everybody
while.
it's like immediately calls the mayor, and like my phone starts blowing up, and people are bitching at me like I'm operating the plant, and I'm like I'm in home in bed. I have nothing to do with how Cargill operates their plant. So we're in the middle of talking to an industry that is being a bad neighbor, and it's a similar type of situation. What Mayor Steve is dealing with BP is I work for the residents, and the residents are pissed because of this freaking plant. In this case, it's Cargill, and so I take out my frustrations on the management. Like, you guys got to do something. How would you feel if there's a big plant by your house and it woke your whole damn family up at 2 a.m?
Yeah,
right?
so I thought that was really interesting. So kind of a little inside baseball here is that Mayor asked the plant manager, I wouldn't say asked, informed the plant manager that he would like him at his office on Tuesday morning.
Right.
Or Wednesday morning. And he showed up, and
He was nice.
he was nice, and he got an earful from the mayor
I was
and his staff.
frustrated,
And
but it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, and I know, and this guy is explaining, he knows how to keep the plant from making that noise. The plant manager does, and he's training people how to keep it from making that noise. Unfortunately, the person that was on watch that night at 2 a.m. is working in a real loud environment, so they can't hear if the noise is being made, and he didn't realize that the vibration was happening.
it sounded to me, and by the way, I think that kudos to the plant manager in the sense that I felt he was being very forthright
I
and
do too.
honest and telling you
I do
exactly
too.
what happened, which is always a good thing, and you feel like,
I do
okay,
too.
now you know what the story is. It seemed to me like it was almost like a lack of training, or had somebody that was maybe new on the job
Right.
working this machine.
Right.
Not that I'm making excuses for him, but it sounds like that's what happened.
That's what he was saying.
And they know how to get through it. The other thing that was interesting was, they admitted that this is like 1960s
That was interesting,
technology
too.
that they're
It's
working
literally,
with. And,
Jill, this dryer that they're using, it's driving all my residents insane, is built in like 1961. So we're like, why don't you buy a new one? And they said the problem is it's like $25 million.
Oh, wow.
So I immediately got my economic development team talking to them about a wise expenditure that they should probably make in the near future.
yeah, and hopefully they can do that because, I mean, I think they're doing what they can with old
with
technology,
1960s
right?
technology.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
guy probably drives a car that's built in 2022, but he the dryer at work that's driving my freaking residents insane is built in 1961.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that's interesting about this also, Jill, is the people that used to work and run this factory and even like own this factory, they lived in your neighborhood, Jill. They would like literally drive less than a mile to work every day. And if the plant started making that insanely crazy sound, guess what? They would go freaking crazy too. So they would fix it. But what's happened is all these, people have moved away. And they don't live anywhere near the plant. Why? Because they don't want to hear that goddamn sound, right?
Or smell amazing in
Right.
Meso.
So they don't want to spend the money to fix it because they don't give a shit because they live in freaking Palos Heights or they live in Crown Point or Valparaiso and they can't smell it or they can't see it and they don't give a shit. And
Yeah,
I think BP is the same thing. They don't give a shit because they don't live here. It's us suckers that have to deal with it. Too bad. Move. The moral of the story is, if you don't want to smell our shitty plant, then move to Valparaiso like I did.
Yeah,
Assholes.
I think that's one of the problems is that the success of these places where they are able to pay big money, and then people think like, well, why would I want to live near that? Why would I want to live in that community when I can afford a big house out here in the suburbs?
Right. And I shit all over that community. I don't want to smell the shit that we create, and the noises that we make. I don't want to deal with that myself. So I take my high salary and I move to Valparaiso, and you poor fuckers get to deal with all the bullshit.
I mean, that's definitely a change in American industry where I think you're right. Like 100 years ago, people that ran the plants lived in the community.
True.
Well,
Yeah.
the communities were built because of the plants.
Good point.
So
True story.
everyone
Very good
lived
point.
there.
True story.
Because everybody wanted to live near work.
Right.
They should be forced to live where they pollute. There should be like, okay, the CEO, you're going to get paid $5 million, but you got to live like within 1 mile of the footprint of your building, because then you're probably going to be concerned about the stupid noises you're making and the polluting of the atmosphere you're doing. You'd probably care because
Well, and all the
your
people you
kids
go to
live there.
church with,
Right.
they go to school,
Right.
kids go to school
So
with.
it's the
all
mayor that gets their ass kicked. I get my ass kicked like you would think
Congratulations
I'm
for
there.
living in the community.
I'm like, yeah, turn on that noise as loud as possible. It's like, what the fuck, man? Why am I getting yelled at? This is bullshit, So yeah, I was frustrated the other day when I talked to the gentleman, and he was a gentleman, and I believe him that they're trying to fix it, but I don't think it's as urgent for him as it is for me, because I'm the one that gets yelled at.
Yeah, I think that the interesting thing about that conversation was like this, and I don't want to get too in the weeds. I know you don't either, but like to get this dryer up to a certain speed, they have to go through this range where it makes noise. And he's like, yeah, if we do it right, it just takes like a couple minutes to get through the range, and then you're out.
It's like,
And it was stuck in the range.
does your car do this, Jill or John? When you if you have the windows down like at a certain point and you hit a certain mile an hour, your car starts going. Just
Mine
for a
doesn't
second,
do that.
Right?
Mine just rattles. Like
But
not rattles,
it's
but
like a
blah, blah, blah,
frequency
blah, blah,
though.
blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then it's like my windows are rolled down just right, and if I'm at the right temperature or the right speed, if I got going at that speed, it would be humming the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So what do? You speed up and it goes away.
Goes
right?
through, right? Or you roll up one of the windows.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing
Yeah.
they're dealing with. And that guy, the operator, didn't know what the hell he was doing, was literally operating it in that zone for like hours. And drove people to the point of like they're gonna murder people. And then I was getting the text messages.
that
They
is
murder
the
you.
most-
They're gonna murder me. I'm like sleeping, like not doing shit, right? And I'm like, people are like, "You're the worst mayor I've ever seen. You don't give a shit."
What
I'm
did I
like,
just do?
Yeah, sorry, I went to sleep. My bad. It was 3 a.m.
I wasn't operating the dryer in cargo.
Yeah, like my
I
bad.
should have been.
Oh, I didn't check the dryer before I went to bed.
Stop giving people your cell phone number.
I did
Yeah,
it
he did that
though.
again. I was like, oh my.
I love hearing you guys when I do that. My whole
Oh.
staff is like, "You're so crazy," and people are taking it down.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. I'm a public servant, man.
You are.
That's what you do. I'm going to change my goddamn number as soon as I'm not mayor, though. I'm just telling you. The day after, it's going to be like friggin' different area code and everything.
So this all reminds me, Pete in chat won our Tom or Kevin game. We still have his BP Amico gift card here at the studio. We got to get you that BP Amico gift card, Pete.
That's awesome. Great purchase, Phil.
I'll leave it
Use
to
it now
Phil.
before the gas prices jump. because of
Exactly.
this.
And
Hey,
they're going to go up because of this.
Yeah, absolutely
Oh, yeah,
they
they
are.
already are.
Unbelievable.
As soon as the fire started, they jacked up the prices.
Yeah.
They're like, hey,
And then in 2 months it'll go up again because of the summer blend.
I love it.
They got it down.
Hey, we're going to do some ads. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk to you about a traffic ticket in Northwest Indiana that's probably going to cost $2 or $3 million once it's all said and done.
Wow.
That's my quick estimation. It's the most
I want to know how
expensive.
you get to that.
I got calculated details, but it's going to be it's too minute to cover on the air, but I'll show you when we get off. But it will be the most expensive traffic ticket in the history of Northwest Indiana, and we're here to talk about it right on Lockpod, the Midwest's most dangerous podcast. But first, let's do our ads. Kuklakis Law. Excuse me. Sorry.
That is not an opinion of that is not any like
I was
review
at
of
the end.
Kuklakis law.
I was at the end of my I was talking so long I couldn't talk anymore, and I just started coughing. My bad. Kuklakis Law. Are you currently navigating complex legal challenges? Unsure of where to turn for guidance? Your search ends here with Kuklakis Law, your trusted partner for legal solutions in Indiana and in Illinois. Whether you're seeking expert representation for real estate transactions, you need assistance in forming your business, or have experienced a personal injury at work or in a car crash, Kuklakis Law is here for you. No matter the nature of your legal issue, our team is ready to help. Call us today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos Español.
Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best for your home and family, trust the industry leader, Rogers Roofing. For over 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through in their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. Visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's Rogers Roofing or 219-933-9145 at Rogers Roofing. We expect nothing less than excellence every time.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana with a 30-year legacy of excellence. Their experienced team, led by Rick Baltonsberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing and metal business cards and signs like this one on time and within budget. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions.
What's up with your mic arm?
Dude, it's driving me insane.
What is going on?
It's like, look at it's like falling.
Oh,
It's like falling into me.
We'll have to take a look at that.
all right, that was better.
Joe, you doing the last one or?
It's your turn.
Calumet Brewing. It's time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a 4.2 ABV. The perfect way to start 2024 and keep those resolutions in check. It doesn't matter if you're kicking back after a workout, hitting a pickup game at the park, or heading out for a day on the slopes. That's right. Be sure to enjoy a superior light lager that's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is brewed to be a complement to your healthy lifestyle. Head over to Cal Brew or to Michelob Ultra website and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Thank you to our sponsors.
I love this ad. I do love this ad.
Gave us well, I mean,
but you're not supposed to mess with our ads. But if we weren't inclined to mess with our ads, I would mess with that one hard.
You would?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I love Michelob
That was the one that
Ultra.
Mayor Joe. Hey, Mayor Joe got a big cooler out of it with
I
some
know he
Bud
did.
Light or
I know
Bush
he did.
beer. I can't
I
remember.
know.
Bush, I think.
I bet you that. By the way, we give out some bullshit on Lockpod, but that is a good ass gift we
It was
give
a
Mayor
solid
Joe. Hell yeah!
gift
I
to Mayor
guarantee
Joe.
you he uses that. It's probably in his office with cold beer.
That cooler, I would take that cooler to any party.
Hell yeah! That beer will stay cold for like 2 weeks in that thing.
So thank you, Cal Brew.
Thank you, Cal Brew. Mayor Joe from Indianapolis, thanks you very much.
Yes.
Is that vice grip tightened underneath there? There's a
don't know,
little
something-
vice grip.
something
Go ahead and
jacked
turn
up.
it. Turn
That's
it,
all right.
man.
I'll
Come
do
on,
it
you're
after
the
show.
bear.
I want to do it after the show because the damn arm will probably
twink.
fall.
Place is
That makes
falling
up for some
apart.
great TV.
What's that?
The arm falling off.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's something wrong.
Yes.
It's officially something wrong.
yeah. Tom, tighten the vice grip
Underneath.
All right,
underneath.
you guys go ahead and
Yes,
start.
we'll
start
start.
the
It would
start
take
the
2
thing,
seconds.
Kevin.
Yes, I'll start while Tom's tightening the vice grip. I'm just kidding.
Or don't start.
Just watching him tighten the vice grip. But anyway, okay,
Good?
so we are going to talk about next the Sheriff Oscar Martinez's traffic ticket, which has turned into a felony, which has turned into one of the most expensive exercises in Lake County history. Here comes John on camera. We don't get this very often. We're going to try to fix his mic. All right, he's fine.
Yeah.
All
Just
right,
keep going.
you ready?
Yeah.
I
keep
was just
going.
excited
I'm
to see what
fine.
happened. Are you all right?
Yes. I'm
All
fine.
right. So, the most expensive traffic ticket in Lake County, and most recently, this thing is set for February 12th for trial. February 12th trial. Everybody thinks it's going, and then there's a motion that's filed. Dun 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 dun. And Sheriff Martinez's lawyers have filed a pretty interesting motion, and there's a couple things that came out of this motion that I was pretty shocked about. Namely, one, that there's a bunch of depositions that I didn't even know were happening, including Mayor's changing. He's going over. The locomotive is switching, and you're on.
I wish I was
right.
filming that whole thing.
Me too.
It was awesome.
It's all right.
All right. So you talked about the most expensive traffic ticket in Lake County,
Yeah.
and here we are.
How could it not be? A reckless driving, which normally in Lake County, anybody gets charged with reckless driving.
Which is a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor, but I guess it could be charged as a felony. No, they would call that evading or fleeing.
Well, you'd probably, if you're over, that's a good question. If you're over a certain amount of miles per hour, I wonder if it does become a felony. I think it's just a misdemeanor.
let's say they did charge him with reckless driving felony, which is what it is.
Well, they charge him with resisting law enforcement as a felony,
And that's the crazy thing. How could it be resisting law enforcement?
and fleeing, and reckless driving.
Because it's political. Let's be honest. This is all political because it's Sheriff Martinez we're talking about, and it's political from the get-go. anybody else in Northwest Indiana, I don't care if you're the governor, I don't care who you are, if you're driving similarly, you're getting charged with the reckless driving, maybe a felony, and then it would get pled down to a misdemeanor. You're not going to trial, you know, jury trial or bench trial. You're not going to have a special prosecutor. You're not going to have a special judge. This is all bullshit. It should have been handled from the get-go as a reckless driving, just like we do every other freaking reckless driving case.
So this thing's set for trial in February, and interestingly, this motion that was filed by Sheriff Martinez's counsel, which is a verified motion to continue the jury trial and extend pretrial deadlines, talks about a lot of interesting information. One of which is, for example, defense counsel discovered that a subpoena for Paul Goddard. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah, he was a guest on our show. He's the CEO, I guess you would call it, of Region Crime Reports, right?
Yeah,
Region News Source. Yeah, Region News, and you pay monthly to be on this. He has tens of thousands, if not more, of people that follow him. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. I think it actually is hundreds of thousands. I don't know if they all pay subscription, but Paul is where we live. He started a social media force.
Yeah, that seems to really be on top of, especially things like police chases and police activity. Seems like he's on top of these things before they hit the mainstream.
Is it safe to say that he's more responsive than the local media?
I think on video and on certain issues, absolutely.
For social media. Like if you want instant access, he's your guy. If you want like more in-depth details about what happened, you go to the traditional media.
There was a hilarious video he posted out of his front window, out of his like the front window of his house, of a police chase in Munster going down. And I was like, man, Paul, he got out of bed. He's like, here it comes down my block. And there it was. But
what is his connection to this case?
Good question.
You're saying he got deposed in this case?
Well, I say he got subpoenaed, and then he retained counsel. He objected to the deposition as it was set on short notice and was potentially asserting various claims of privilege, I assume as a member of the press.
Yeah.
You
don't want to reveal your sources, right?
Anticipated to be covered by the deposition. Well, usually I mean, it's hard to depose it's not easy to just get a reporter and depose them and talk about how they got this information. Like on December 18th, in response to Mr. Goddard's objections, the parties agreed to reschedule his deposition to January 19th. So I assume it happened.
Wow.
January 9th. So I'd be interested to see.
I'm interested. I wonder what Paul Goddard has to do with this.
He's in chat, so maybe Paul could tell us what the deposition was all about.
I'm sure he wants to talk about it, right?
Wait, I got a question.
Yep.
So at this point in time, what is the definition of like a reporter? As far as
I think that's a great question, John.
Yeah, I think Paul would definitely pass that definition. Like a member of the press, he has hundreds of thousands of followers. Literally, I think he has like 200,000 or 300,000 people that follow him.
I don't think you necessarily have to work for like a media company to be
a
member,
especially nowadays. Right,
that's what I'm saying. That's what Jill's saying. Like when you become a member of the media,
back in the, like 1960s, 1970s, I think you'd have to work for like
be associated with
the
the
Times or the Post or the Post Tribune, or you'd have to be, that would be your credential. I think nowadays with the social media,
it's kind of gray.
And I think with Paul, I don't even think it's gray. I think Paul could straight up say, I'm a member of the press and I'm not going to reveal my sources and I'm going to assert that privilege. Right?
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what the deposition was all about and what the relationship.
Is he being deposed by the defense? Obviously. Right?
It says he's being deposed. It doesn't say who issued it. Wait a minute. Does it say who issued the subpoena? Defense counsel discovered that the subpoena that was sent. Yeah, it sounds like the defense is deposing.
So that means Sheriff Oscar's people want to depose Paul Goddard for some reason.
Yeah, maybe they want to find out where he got the information about it, or this or that. Who knows?
He gets information, man. Like people talk to Paul.
Did he break the story?
No, I'm not sure what his role in this is.
Yeah.
I never really realized that Paul was associated with this until we saw this latest motion. And it's like, what the hell is Paul's name doing in this thing?
So the other thing that came out of this motion that I found interesting was that one of the things that was discovered during a state police deposition by the defense was that they were given apparently they were given a report that originally contained 28 pages, and then later that same day it sounds like it contained 39 pages, and then it said it contained 240 pages.
Oh my God! It was discovery that they didn't have.
Well, it's kind of weird because it says there's like a footnote. It was the same document, and maybe like the footnote said different things at different parts of the report. But eventually, they figured out that there were 80 pages that the defense didn't have that they needed, and within the 80 pages, this was really interesting to me. It pertained to coordination with parties other than the Indiana State Police. They don't say who those third parties are. And the appointed special prosecutor for obtaining warrants not received in the prior email, documents indicating the existence of information, and interviews of state's witnesses for which the ISP commander had previously testified that he did not recall taking notes. Pretty interesting, right? So there's all these witnesses. Now, this is interesting. The most fascinating of, this is a quote from these pages they didn't have, the most fascinating of which is a color photograph of the Jeep Trackhawk assigned to Sheriff Martinez while parked in the parking lot of his lawyer's offices.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, what?
So they're sitting there
Taken
like,
by a yet unknown individual who
they're
had
like
clearly
following
made
him
entry.
around.
Yeah.
And they went onto the property of Strachey's law.
After he's charged, by the way,
Strachey Law
obviously.
Group. And the sheriff is there talking to his lawyer, and somebody went in and took a picture of his Trackhawk
Yeah.
in his
So-
lawyer's parking lot. That is like pretty close to the edge, right? It's,
It's
I mean,
interesting.
definitely
you know,
stalking.
It's not,
you're stalking the
unheard
sheriff.
of. Not unheard of.
I
I've
know
had-
he's the sheriff, though. You're like
Yep.
stalking the sheriff. Like what the? You got to be pretty ballsy to stalk a law enforcement officer, the top law enforcement officer in Northwest Indiana, and you're stalking him and taking pictures of his Trackhawk when he's talking to his lawyer. You got a lot of balls, man. Whoever's doing that kind of stuff.
The defendant cannot complete the above described investigation, discovering the time remaining before the February 12th trial dates. They're asking for a continuance, and there also sounds like they're going to file a bunch of pretrial motions against the state, including one that says the state knowingly, intentionally, or recklessly omitted information relevant to a determination of probable cause. That the state, with reckless disregard for the truth or falsity of the information, offered in support of probable cause for the search and seizure of the Trackhawk, this and that. It's all kinds of allegations that the defense is making against the investigation.
You would think this is like a murder trial, the way they're doing. Like, Strachey is a criminal defense lawyer. He's a great lawyer. I think one of the better criminal defense lawyers in our area. He has a great law firm. It's known to represent criminal defense, criminal defendants. And the number of motions that are going on, all this, I bet you Strachey would do this kind of stuff in a high profile murder trial. And instead, he's doing a fucking traffic ticket. It's a goddamn disgrace. This is such a joke. It's like, seriously? Like, let's move on.
I think the thing that I find amazing is that, and let's say that the facts fit the charge. Okay, okay, fine. He's charged with these things. The amazing thing to me is just that in knowing how Lake County works as far as criminal defense goes, I think if you talk to John Cantrell, you talk to anybody that's on there any day, this type of charge would get pled out if the defense was willing to plead it out. Now, I don't know. Maybe Strachey's saying, like, we're not pleading anything.
There's no way.
Because I would think if there's a misdemeanor.
Oscar wants out of this so bad.
Yeah,
Like, it's just like anybody would. It's a freaking 2-year ordeal on a traffic ticket.
That's right. And by the way, public ordeal.
Yeah.
He had to
go
everything
through an
that's
election
filed.
with this shit hanging over his head, and he won. By the way, this sheriff who was indicted on a stupid traffic charge ran for election and was overwhelmingly reelected. And yet the stupid special prosecutor is still pushing this like it's the crime of the century. It's a freaking traffic ticket.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that it should be pled out. I would think, just like every other case.
If I was a Lake County prosecutor when this happened early on, I would have went to the sheriff and said, "Sheriff, you're gonna have to plead to a misdemeanor reckless driving." And this whole goddamn thing, we would have saved $1 million. We would have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, tons of bad will, tons of distractions. The top law enforcement officer shouldn't be on the trial of his life for a traffic ticket. He should be fighting bad guys and trying to get rid of fentanyl that's killing people. Instead, we're playing freaking games. It's a goddamn disgrace. It really is. This is a joke. Like, all these people should,
The hearing on this is Monday, by the way, February 5th.
Yeah, and then they're probably going to continue the trial, right? Mm-hmm. Because of all this newly discovered evidence. And the trial will get moved to April or May, and we'll be dealing with this crap, which is great for Lockpod. We're going to have tons of stuff to talk about in the coming months.
Yeah. It sounds like the state's still trying to push to get into evidence communications between Oscar and his wife.
Of course, that's really important. That's really important, in a traffic ticket. Like, what did you say to your wife after you got done driving fast?
Well, the thing that's really weird to me is that, he's not charged with any drinking offense.
I know.
And yet there's all this evidence, there's all this discussion about, where was he and what was he doing and whatever. I mean, he's not charged with any drinking offense.
It's a freaking disgrace.
So they're trying to almost make it into this drunk driving charge when he hasn't been charged. There's no evidence of any. I mean, and
Right.
by the way, if there was, they should have charged it. So I don't know.
I'm sick of the whole thing. I'm sick of it. It's a disgrace. I think that the Lake County prosecutor should have used his power to put this away and to punish the sheriff properly, like we do with 99.99% of the cases that come before the Lake County prosecutor in situations like this. We don't go to trial. If we went to trial every time somebody drove too fast in Northwest Indiana, our courts would be so bogged down we couldn't handle it. So there's a different level of justice for the sheriff. If you drive too fast, we're going to persecute you and destroy your career. But if anybody else in the region does the same exact thing, we're just going to treat it like a misdemeanor and move on with our lives. That's special justice. That's not proper.
All right. There you have it. The most expensive traffic ticket in Lake County history.
Yes, I stand by it. This is the most expensive traffic ticket in Lake County history, and we're obviously very proud of that. So, anyway, another action-packed show. Just shows you why season 11 is different.
Update,
you know,
Paul Goddard. He said last year he was subpoenaed by the special prosecutor and the grand jury. This year is the defense.
really,
Yeah.
that's awesome. He is obviously he is involved in everything that's going on in the region. That's why so many people follow him. The guy's literally, and he has a real job. He's been a guest on Lockpod twice. He has a real job. He's a steel worker by day, and he's social media news reporter by night.
My law partner Steve said, I get my news from Paul and Apple News in that order.
I should start doing the same. By the way, I keep getting logged off the Times website, and it's beyond frustrating.
Just got to get on there and get it reset.
I think it's broken, and I don't know. So
Mine's fine.
The Times. Paul Goddard's is not broken. I could get on Region News Source easy, but I keep getting logged off the Times website, and I don't.
Alex, make sure the mayor's Northwest Indiana Times access is figured out.
Yeah. All right. It's been a show.
It has.
It's been so much of a show you had to change seats and microphones.
I know. I broke a microphone. Season 11.
Awesome.
He peed mid-show.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Squatted down.
Right, on the floor, of course. That's why season 11's different. The first 10 seasons were shit. Let's be honest. In season 11, it's high quality shit.
You're bringing it.
I'm bringing it. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you all. Jill, it's great to see you back. Thanks for helping us.
Thanks for surviving the Armageddon.
And hey, get ready.
Hallelujah.
Get ready for that iPad.
Can't wait.
Right? I'm going to give it to you very, very shortly. So,
You're gonna
Jay
give it to
Beth,
her?
Great
the
hellscape
iPad,
report.
the used iPad.
Yikes.
Because she's an Android person, she doesn't need a brand new iPad.
Can
She's
we
not
spray
gonna
that
switch.
with that, what is that?
Disinfectant?
No,
I'll disinfect it.
I was going to say
Is there
like that.
a black light in
Black
there?
light.
Yeah, I will properly disinfect this iPad. I promise you, because you didn't never know where my iPad's been. Kevin Chandler, it's great to see you, my man.
Yes, good seeing you.
Yeah, and coming to you live from Locomotive, Lockpot, season 11, the highest quality season by far. Take care, everybody. We will be back on Tuesday with the same shenanigans. Take care, everybody. Lockpot is out.